A bit of a late start this morning. The crude at 10:30, then meeting minutes at 2. Okay, meeting minutes at 2, big impact. It might be choppy or chop directionally today. I guess maybe potentially get some big move and then some big retracements. So, not a great day, probably. But we shall see. Ultra aggressive. Right. Like that nice little trade there. Could be a buy on the ES at 633.75. Could be a little aggressive though. Market looks really mixed to me. I don't have a real clear direction of which way I could say that the trend is. Most things point up, but technically a lot of things are also mixed, or enough things are also mixed to where I am unsure. Like this keeps switching these. It's in here potentially if that closes up. This is mixed on the long term. And then this top one just turned up. This top right is mixed. So it's kind of a wait and see here. Waiting for a potential signal down here. If the ES and the NQ both move down and get a signal, I will try to short it. It would be nice if the signal occurred on this bar. That way we could get out before it hit 800. But if we get above 48 on the NQ, might start looking for longs on one of the charts. May not want to do that. We'll see. Still got a lot of bar left there. Look, the ES might be trying to push up a little bit to the local high around 32, 33. We'll see if he can break above it. Around here. It did close above the close at 32.25. But again, today is a really weird day, so we'll see if it can stay above it. It's trying to break above this 33, 34 area. This top left NQ still hasn't turned up to the blue side yet. Range is kind of pushing back down. This ES is starting to potentially turn up. So maybe we turn up and get a signal up. We'll see. Still that 33.75 could be a long on the ES. I will not be taking that. Broke above that 48.50 level on the NQ. The 33.75 got violated and it went up to 35. See if it has any more steam behind it. All right, so we're starting to turn up on the NQ. It looks like if we close up. Lost steam there. Right after it popped up above that 33.75. Come back down. I really like that price action up there. I don't like how this 1 minute bar rejected that area. And this up here is putting in a big wick on the 3 minute. The top left doesn't turn blue. Should be turning blue soon, maybe. Nope, come back down a little bit. Like to see it above 52 and stay above that. Have a big sell off there. Then if you look at this top left chart, it doesn't look as big, right? Just gives you shows you there's not a lot of volatility right now or range in the market. So this may be, if we get in on this one, either long or short, it may go for 10 points just because of the type of day. Wonder if this day we grind up towards 20,000. That'd be interesting to see, right? Or grind down to 700. See. See like the really weird price action here. Top. We don't really like that. Maybe it gets a little more momentum back up to the upside. See? Two real small break-even trades on Bulenox. Like $20 between the two. Top left on this one starting to turn up. Yes, did turn up on this time frame. See if the NQ can turn up. The clouds in our favor. Not throw in my other order that I wanted. Let's see if we can here. try to go for 10, right? What happened? Freeze? I think we froze here. Let me... There we go. Okay, we got out. Let me be right back. That should be loading up. While that does that, let's pull over Rhythmic. So we're at 1710 for the day with those two trades. On Bulenox, we got 3 trades, 2 break even plus, and then 1 for 155 after commission. So those 3 accounts in total are up to 176. The one closest to the draw just hit the minimum threshold, which is 2,600. So it's at 2,653 in profit. I still need another 1,000 on top of that to be able to withdraw. But we will close the server down in the meantime. Reconnected here. All right, I'm getting connected back. Make sure there's no weird pending orders. I canceled all the orders from Rhythmic. Hopefully it didn't remove every single one of my strategies, which it didn't. So we're good there. And so nothing on Precision, but 1710 on FTT. Pull that back. All right, let's figure out what we could potentially take on Precision. If anything, nothing yet. Yeah, sometimes these buttons with NinjaTrader just, they don't like it the first time you click them, so you gotta like go through and click them a whole bunch the first time. Then once it kind of like recognizes it, it's all good. I didn't figure that out. I haven't actually put any time in to figure it out either, and probably won't because it really doesn't bug me that much, but it's some NinjaTrader jank for you. We are above the 5-minute opening range. Dang, above it. What's our ES doing? I haven't been looking at the ES enough. The ES and the NQ have very, very similar price action. The NQ is a little bit more up than the ES. ES is a little bit more sideways, but there is more volume in the ES. They're both trending in the same direction now. On the NQ, we need to get above 73.25. Well, this is the weird, like, so earlier price was kind of like hanging around here a lot. It was going up and down right through here. Kind of this like weird potential triple top. Now it's like this huge channel right here. Right on a FOMC minute day. It shouldn't be surprising. It just, that is a humongous channel. So that one for 10, which was the right call based on today. I'd like to see the minute chart stay blue and this range chart to turn red, then back to blue. In a quick fashion would be better. Coming back towards that 5-minute opening range. See it here, these humongous wicks on this 5-minute chart. Really, really don't like that. So we started the market off with one big down bar comparatively, right? It's not a huge range, but comparatively to what's happened in pre-market, it's big. Followed by even larger green bar. And then we just have huge wicks after that. Not great trading. Don't force anything. Break even faster. Tighter profit targets. Unless you're trying to guess which way the day is going to grind. At least that's my thought process. Anytime you start getting up into these wicks either way, be careful. So pretty much you have wicks. It's going to be humongous. Where I would need to watch out for. Right? After this one. Assuming we don't consider the candle. That entire area. Right? That's the entire area I would be looking at to be careful of. So pretty much the entire day. Be interesting to see here. I'm not going to consider that one because it wasn't a big like down move. But they've gradually stepped up where the closes are. I know I didn't mark it perfectly, but big grind down, grind up, grind down, grind up, grind. If this closes up again, it'll be interesting to see if we get above all of this congestion right here and stay above it. And that would mean the NQ would be going towards, what would we be going towards? We'd be going towards 900. Maybe on our way to 20,000. We'll see. Could change in an instant though. Missed along here on this, although it was probably a good day not to trade. Typically, I like trade this on a more clear trending day. These have looked all wonky today. I didn't expect these to do anything special because of such low volatility. You would have stayed in this trade to go for 20 points after you averaged in down here, you would probably have been at your profit target already. You got in a little bit better price. You definitely would have if you would have gotten exactly the perfect price. On the Bulenox, I had gotten long. Where'd I get long? Like somewhere in here. I think. Yeah. On one of the accounts. And then I also took this long on a different account. Two and a half minutes from 10 o'clock. So it's getting above that area, so it's going to be interesting to see if it can stay above now. I would put like what we're really trying to look at is one of the ways that I used to read price action on the ES is I would look at the close of the bar and only care about the close of the bar if I'm drawing patterns. The only time I would consider a wick is if it aligned with a close of the bar or a pattern related to a close of the bar. Like this close right here on the 4 range, right? So you have 1 close, 2 close, 3 closes right at that 35.25. And then if you extend it to the left, that last kind of area I had marked up where it was grinding up, that was the high on whatever this kind of bar is called. I forget. I used to know the name of them. I forgot all of them because it doesn't matter because I can just look at them now and know what they generally mean. But you had a lot of buyers and they couldn't take it up and they came back down. Just there was nothing to support it. Right? So that's when I would look at it. The other times that I would look at a wick, let me see if I can find a good example. Like here, in fake out situations. So this was a really, really tiny, grindy pullback. So kind of just ignore the left of it because it just was really bad price action. But the concept is still kind of the same. You still look at the close, right? And we draw our line kind of over. Price went back and down. And as you saw, as it came down right through here, it lost a lot of momentum down and buyers really came in and started buying these wicks. And we're 30 seconds away from a new 5-minute bar. Nothing for me to potentially trade yet on my precision. There we go. So anyways, going back to this. So price was coming down, it was losing momentum. And then you kind of get the same weak bars going up. You get a strong down and a slightly less strong down. And then you get a bar that matches the prior bar, but it cannot close below this low here of 29.50-ish. But it puts a wick below, right? Below the close and also the prior low. Weakness coming down. Buyers prevail. And then you get this like impulse down. But when it impulses down, it's only one semi-strong bar followed by a more or less neutral bar. And I say neutral in the fact that it's 2 ticks down and 2 ticks up. Right, 2 ticks on the wick, 2 ticks going down, even though it closed down, technically it's down bar. I would consider that as like a neutral bar if I'm looking at a 4-range chart. And so this could clearly be a fake out. Now at this bar, when you're looking at it, right, you don't know that that is a fake out, but it could be a fake out. Right, so I'm not saying it's definitely a fake out. I'm saying that's what I used to watch for, and I still watch at some points in times, but I typically watch what happens afterwards now. So before I was trying to say, is that a fake out, and then try to take a trade up. So in this situation, when the market went up, I would try to get long on this engulfing bar here, because it was a, you know, 3/4 of a bar down, 1/4 bar down. So it got extremely weak, and then got hit with a full body bar up that engulfed. And so I would say that was a lot of strength that came in, and I would try to get long and try to get 2 points based off of this fake out here. Now I just look and see what happens previously to see, like, okay, that makes sense that we're grinding up, and that's where I drew those triangle or those squares on those areas. Because you can kind of just look at those patterns. You don't need to draw the lines in after you look at it for a while. You know, well, a while. I don't know. I looked at that for years, so. You can also draw fibs that way. Fibs can be really good to draw off of closes instead of any of the wicks. Did a little bit of retrace. We're still pretty high on this one, so it would take quite a number of bars to the right to get this oscillator down and beneath. This was another potential long, although we got long on this one. Technically, this is valid. It would have been, we would have tried to get 20 points on it, but on a normal day or a day like this, it would be 10 points. On a normal day, it would be 20 points. But I just like taking the first trade of the day on those. So the ES and the NQ, they both have really big wicks on that up move on the 3-minute chart. As you can imagine, I don't like that. I'm pretty close to just calling it right here. I don't like how the 5-minute is setting up. I really don't like how the 3-minute looks. There would be a large number of bars to get this to turn red, which would be my setup. This would also need a good move down and a good move back up to trade. This we wasn't fast enough to trade this left chart. The right chart, again, it wasn't a high volatility day, so I didn't even look at it. These NQ charts aren't the best to trade when it's slow. And then how the market is setting up on my other minute charts, I don't like any of the setups that would be generated off of them, but I think we give it maybe a couple more minutes. If we get down to 92.50, that could be a good nice little scalp on the NQ. You can OCO at 92.50 and 02.50. And that would be aggressive, especially around that 900 number. And given the day, given the price action, all that stuff. I will not take that, but it could be a nice little scalp. Look at this bottom right 1 minute. Look at that wick. Look at that wick right there. So 92.50, where was that at? 92.50. You could have got like 5 points on that. If you were super patient, maybe 10. Might be just grinding up. I would love to see it grind up towards 20,000, stay above 20,000. Did convert a interesting indicator earlier this morning. Let's check that out real fast. It's this right here. Let me just pull that up. What did that look like on a minute chart today? So there was a signal down, I guess a signal. I haven't really quite figured out how to use this thing yet. There was a signal down on this bar. Signal down on that bar. Signal up. Signal up. Signal up. Up. It's just up right now. Go back. Windows 11 had an update in the past like couple months, and it really is agitating. It's really messed up the snapping of the windows. My windows don't snap right anymore. I don't know how you just mess a basic function up like that. It's working perfectly. Boom, update next day. I know it's not my imagination. Right. What did it look like on the Renko? Oof. I mean, on 1 day of data, it looks like you wouldn't want to use this as an entry if it's more than 3 bars in a row. Two bars, 1 bar look halfway decent. Especially not after 3 or more bars. That could be an interesting pattern. That's like a CCI zero line cross. Two bars looks good there. 2 bars looks good there. 2 bars. 2 bars. 2 bars. 1 bar. 2 bars. 2 bars. This one would be the tougher one, but if you go to break even after 5 points, you'd be fine. This is where it gets you right here. You probably wanted to see it really get in the middle of the zone or the opposite side for more than 1 bar. Look at the minute again. Market's still just farting around. We really don't like it. We do have divergence on the ES and the NQ right now. The NQ is pushing up towards its daily high, and the ES is lagging way, way, way behind. If we even just look at this chart here, you can see the high is right here on the closed bars, right at 0850. If we come down here to the NQ, it's the high is all the way up, or the ES, it's all the way up here at 42.75, and it's down there. And if I pull over the NQ, kind of look at the price action between these two 3-minute charts. Similar, but contextually very different. Not a good sign to trade. Kind of interesting when it stays red. It doesn't do that, stays red or blue. It doesn't do that all the time or that frequently, but you know, that could be something there. There's a conversion from TradingView, so it's all open source. And I didn't convert the SWMA into NinjaTrader, so I took that option out. That wasn't a default option, but I just took it out. It's kind of interesting. Maybe we explore that at some point in time, but I feel like I have enough to look at right now. I don't need another chart unless I automate it, but I will put that on my cluttered screen with a bunch of other testing charts. Yeah, so on my 3 minutes, we're really far away from a setup. Really far away from a setup. On my 5 minute, I really didn't like the setup, so I passed on it, so that's invalid. Again, I kind of went over here, there was no setups, and we're pulling back into that area that I had drew a line at. Kind of rejecting it, kind of not. So right here. Maybe this is a good live example. Like right here, right? That's that close, that high close before we made that up move. And here it was coming down, it closed right on it, kind of like a little fake out, it went back up, came down, was trying to close near it, kind of fake out, up, down. Now it closed below it right here. So now where we say, okay, well, maybe the market is making a decision about what it wants to do. Because not only was it the close at 9:45, it was the close at 10:05 on this low pull down here, and all the way until, and you see it just broke down. So it is kind of deciding there. So that's how kind of in a real scenario I would look at something like that. And you don't need to always draw lines. You can just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. But generally, it's kind of a little four-range insight that took me a long time to figure out. Getting some movement. I want to see if we retrace back up above 900, because what could be happening is the ES and the NQ coming back in alignment. And if that's the case and it comes back up, I might try to get long up here. Kind of 50-50 on if I want to do that right now. So I probably need to see how the market moves towards it. Long will be at like 03. If it gets any closer to 900 though, I'm going to cancel it. Don't like that this bottom left chart is turning red. Yeah. Let's cancel that. No, it's still above 900 up here. 0150 would be that long. I don't like where it's at. 0125 is still like we're faking people out. 03 still kind of, but better. And then all these start, if these stayed blue, the bottom left and the right, then I probably would have left the order there. I mean, they would probably turn blue by the time the market got up there, but it's not worth it. Not worth it. Again, today, we have these meeting minutes here. Important, very impactful. I have no clue what the CS is trying to do after watching that. Just super choppy during the pre-market session. DS and the NQ do look like they're back, moving together and contextually moving together, which is a good sign. Which in part, that's kind of what that movement did. It just forced it to get in alignment. I don't know if it was purposefully by people who move the market or what, but that's what happened. .907 would be another aggressive long on the MQ. I'm not going to even entertain that idea. We close above 907, I have a potential setup within 20 bars of that. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But if we close above 907 on the 1 minute chart, it could potentially get another setup on FTT. So now I kind of want to see if we're going to make it up there. And I also want to see what happens here. I'm not taking it though. I'm not trading this V pattern right here. That's just stupid. It was 9 bars down on the Renko and then 1 bar up, 4 bars down, 3 bars up, 3 bars down, 6 bars up, 1 bar down, and now we're at 5 bars up. That's just, it literally makes a W. It's a literal W, right? The W. I'm not trading that. So we broke this, what was it, 101.25. It came up to 06.75, so it would have been a break-even plus trade. I'm glad I didn't take that though. Trying to break this 907, I would like to see a close above 907. Yes, we really need to get above 38.50, and then we need to get above 42. What kind of retrace was this? 70 something. Okay. And I know I draw my fibs backwards sometimes. Normally, because I'm normally try to draw extensions. No, we have them set up, draw extensions that way. So I got in the habit of drawing it that way. It doesn't matter because the numbers are pretty much flipped. And it doesn't need to be exact anyways. Look down here. There's a 223 on that. What was it for the full day though? It was a 127. Here's that. See, it's still farting around up there, so that's why we didn't take that. So this would have been a potential long here if I was trading more than one signal for 20 points. Well, if it's, I'm gonna give it, let's see, a close and a new 3-minute will open. I'll give it maybe 2 more 3-minute bars. That looks bad right there. That doesn't look promising. Just like crappy sideways, right near, like all that stuff. It shouldn't be shocking, but especially after this big up move. All blue right now, but this bottom left is very close to turning back down. Yeah, it didn't really go too far, so that would have definitely been break even, and even still afterwards, there was no follow through. A 5-minute setup today that I didn't take for all the reasons I've already talked about, it would have made money. Been a little bit of a drawdown, but it would have made some money. So glad I didn't take it though. I think that was the right decision. As we get closer to 2, the less confident I would become in taking a setup. Two minutes left until another 3-minute bar. I want to see maybe the close of this bar and the next one. And if it does nothing, I'm hopping off. I've already sat in front of these charts way too long today. And that's even getting to my desk late. I feel like I've been stuck here all morning, not able to do anything else. Hate it. But we're not going to let that make us make a bad decision. Hopefully. There's no guarantees. See, 3-minute kind of divergence a little bit in price action between the ES and the NQ. ES is kind of higher right now than the NQ contextually. The NQ had sold off a little more around 1024, 1027. And the ES just kind of stayed sideways. This was that setup I went over earlier in the week, and then also today it called. So this one, make sure I reinforce this for myself. We want for longs, the histogram to be above the line, and for shorts, the histogram to be below the lines. For longs, we want the histogram to be above 0. For shorts, we want the histogram to be below 0. And we want a change in color to the direction of the trade that we're taking. So all of this under here, because it was above 0 and below the line, was invalid until we came over to right here at 0275. I didn't see that until this bar was forming, and we were like right in here, and that's when I said either the 9725 or the 0250, something like that. And you would have had enough room to make money. That would have been that trade right there. Ideally, you don't have to go through this part here. I think that not having to go through that makes the setup a little bit stronger. But today it still would have worked out. Minute and a half, and then if the market's still not doing anything, I'm calling it. Sitting right below 900. If I got on tomorrow morning and I saw that we were sitting at 20,000 or above, I would not be surprised. But then again, I also wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting down at 750. And if you're listening, I have no idea how you, even with breaks, watch your charts for 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. Unless your breaks are like multiple hours at a time, that is soul crushing. It literally hurts me thinking about sitting in front of the charts that long, even with breaks. Like, I'm hoping you have multiple 90-minute breaks at a time or throughout the day. Just holy cow. And now watching, what, less charts and one market? Let's drink a lot of coffee or Red Bull or Monster or something. Or caffeinated tea. Every time the market gets that like little bit of big move, and I'm like, okay, are we gonna buy up to above 907? Then can I get my setup? But I don't think so. I'm gonna 1 minute, and then I'm done. I know I keep saying after whatever number of bars I'm done, but after this 1 minute bar close, if I don't like it, I'm done. But I reserve the right to extend that. Also been trying to figure out a way to like, I just got tired of posting results and stuff. I'm trying to find an automated way to just gather all my results and just push them out. I think I have an idea of how to do it. I just need the time to sit down and write the script, do it. But I want to try one more thing too. It involves just logging into a trading program. It could be NinjaTrader, it could be multi-charts. It probably won't be Rhythmic or Quant Tower. And then auto exporting one by one each prop firm. Like connect, disconnect, export, or connect, export, disconnect, reconnect, export, and create a loop for that in Python. But I just don't. I don't know. I just don't want to do it right now. I just don't want to sit down and do it. So once I finally sit down and do that, I will probably start posting all my results again. But until then, I just don't feel like it. So I'm not going to do it. But I did create a Discord server that I am going through to see if I want to actually allow people to join. What it looks like. Have you know, comprehensive rules, pretty much don't be a dick. And you just hit the little check button and you get a role to get access to everything else. Just, you know, the normal trading disclaimer shit. 9 announcements and whatnot. So we're breaking above that 907. You know, auto posting like when we go live or post something on the website. All my discount codes, which I only have 3 right now, and I don't, probably no one's ever used them, which is fine. Nothing in here in the arrival or the main lobby yet. I haven't done anything with that. But that's where I only want one place where people talk. I don't want, like, I hate when there's like a whole bunch of different places that you have to go into, like 3 max maybe. Like arrival and main lobby to talk, and then all my downloads here, including the one from today, and then like updates. So quickly see what's happening in the market. I may thinking of also doing a post to show how to send messages to Discord, and that's what I would also potentially send here if I ever get the energy to do it. And then if you need to, you can create a support ticket or whatnot. So that's the framework of it right now. Still undecided if I'm gonna post it and have people join or not. I just one, people would have to join too. I don't know if I feel like dealing with it. We'll see. We did close above that, so I kind of want to see 1 or 2 more bars to see what happens. Signed up for an FTT referral, but I don't like the way they do it. It's one of those stupid old school ones where like you have a referral link and then you go to it and then you have to put a code in on top of it. I hate those. I would just rather have a code and then you use that code. I feel like everybody's moved away from that. So I don't know why they're kind of sticking to that like old school referral thing. They want 20K in referrals before you can get your own code. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. Right, in a minute and a half, I may shut it down for real. You know, I was partly having issues today because I forgot it was running a full virus scan this morning and it's still running. Idiot sometimes. Completely forgot it was running too. All right, well, that bar didn't give us a setup. I don't know that the next couple bars will. So let's do this real quick. Reminder of where we're at for the day. What did I say Bulenox was at? Between $100 $200 or something. I can't remember. 2 break-even trades and then 1 trade that I think went to like 10-ish points. I went to 10 points if we're only at like 200 for the day. What were we at for the gotta look this up. Thing is starting to cook though. 176. How did I get? I don't know how I got slipped so much on. Well, now 176, 197 before commission, 176 after commission. Whatever, we'll take it. Well, potatoes. So nothing on precision, as you can see there. Still need like 2K to get to first withdrawal. FTT 1710 on the day. There's no commission until at some point in time in the future. I don't remember what. At 51.55 in profit. So we need another, obviously several trading days because we have to get to 10. We've only had a couple real ones. But we need, I would like to have another 15K in profit. And then the max withdrawal on that is 4K. So if we can get to 20K and take out 4K, that'll leave us 16. Should be a good amount of room, but not outside the realms of blowing things up because I will probably just leverage up. So that is where we ended for the day. Hopefully everybody else had a very good trading day. If you're still trading, stay safe. This market is incredibly crazy. Just remember what kind of day it is. Make good decisions. As you can see, I am shutting it down right now, so I'm not even tempted to look because I'm very tempted to watch that 1 minute bar. But shutting it down, move on with my day. I've already been here for too long. I will be back on, let's see. Most likely Friday, most likely not tomorrow. But I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great trade day tomorrow.